Oomycetes. Second one, zygomycetes. Third one, deuteromycetes. Fourth one, ascomycetes. And fifth one, basidiomycetes. Okay. The first one, it is classified on the basis of mycelium. On the basis of mycelium, it is divided, students. So they are phenocytic. Phenocytic. Meaning of phenocytic, student, is they are multinucleated. Okay. Phenocytic. They are multinucleated. Now, deuteromycetes are septate, student. Septate means, suppose this is the hyphae, students. Okay. Now, one nucleus, then division, then nucleus, then division. So these are the septate hyphae, students. Okay. And here also, hyphae is septate. Here also in basidium, hyphae is septate. Okay. Now, next one is types of septate. It doesn't possess any branching of septate, but here what happens to student? Suppose this is the septum. This is the hyphae and this is the septum. Here one pore is present, student. One pore is present. So this type of arrangement is called simple pore septate hypha. Here also simple pore is present. And here one pore is present, it is called Dolly pore. What is the type of Dolly pore, student? Dolly pore means same, this is hypha, like this, their arrangement. Here, they are engulfing like this, and this type of pore is present. This type of pore is called Dolly pore. So here you should know two example, student, which NCERT has given. Rust fungi in your NEET, very important for your NEET students, very important for NEET. Rust fungi. Puccinia is called rust fungi. Okay, very important for your NEET. And smut fungi. Okay, smut fungi. Lego is called smut fungi. Okay. Now next we can see the cell wall, student, the cell wall of fungus. Now cell wall of fungus, basically they are composed of cell wall. They are made up of chitin. But in case of oomycetes, they are made up of cellulose. That is why cellulose is a component of algae also, student. That is why oomycetes are called algal fungi. Algal fungi. In zygomycetes, cell wall is made up of chitin. In deuteromycetes, chitin. Ascomycetes, chitin. And basidiomycetes, again chitin, student. Come to asexual reproduction, students. Okay, asexual reproduction. So in oomycetes, they are made up of zoospores. Okay, zygomycetes, they are made up of sporangiospore. Okay, and deuteromycetes, they are made up of conidia. Ascomycetes, conidia. And in basidiomycetes, they reproduce by fragmentation. Okay. Now, if I come to sexual reproduction, student, okay, in sexual reproduction, oomycetes, here, planogametic copulation. What is planogametic copulation? Later on, I'm telling you, student. First, you should know the name, then I'll go into detail. Gametangial contact. These are the name. Okay. Now, in zygomycetes, okay, they are also called conjugation fungi. Okay, conjugation fungi. Here, gametangial copulation. Okay, gametangial copulation or gametangial conjugation. That's why they are called conjugation fungi. Okay, sexual reproduction is absent in deuteromycetes. That is why deuteromycetes are called fungi imperfecti. Now in ascomycetes again, gametangial contact. Okay, gametangial contact and gametangial population. In gametangial contact, they will show somatogamy. In gametangial copulation, they will show spermatization. And both for same also basidiomycetes. So this is a comparative study of oomycetes, zygomycetes, deuteromycetes, ascomycetes, and basidiomycetes student. Okay. Now, next I'm showing you the types of plasmogamy. Okay. Now, so different methods of plasmogamy. So number one is planogametic copulation. What is planogametic copulation, student? Plano means motile. Okay. Gametic means gamete. Copulation means fusion. So from name we can understand that means fusion of motile gamete are called planogametic copulation. Okay. So there are three types, student. All of you know that because I have discussed you in my previous lecture. They are isogamous, okay, anisogamous, and gamous. This one is planogametic copulation. Second one is gametangial contact. Okay. Now in gametangial contact, student, okay, male sex organ is called antheridium. Antheridium. And this is for male part, student. And female sex organ is oogonium. Okay, oogonium. So here female is producing egg. That egg is haploid in nature. And male is producing gamete. So that is male gamete. Okay. Now here what happened, student? Fertilization tube is formed between these two. Okay. So this is the male gamete. Fertilization tube formed between the female gamete. This is the fertilization tube. Okay. Gametangial contact. Gametangial means this sex organ, they actually come closer. And here there exchange of gametes, student. Here exchange of gametes. Third one is gametangial copulation. These two. Third one is gametangial copulation. This you will get in zygomycetes. Okay. So suppose two zygomycetes are there. They release one acid which is called trisporic acid. Now they stimulate formation of sexual hyphae. Okay. Now both are haploid in nature. This is haploid. They are represented as plus or minus. Okay. So this stalk-like structure, they are called zygospore. Okay. They will come closer. Like this. And here basically these are the gametangial. Here gametangia. This portion is gametangia. This is also N. This is also N. Okay. They come closer. Now they are forming zygote. Two gametangia come closer, in and in. So this is 2N and this is zygote student. Okay. So in favorable condition, student, they will germinate. They will undergo for meiosis. What will happen? They will produce a structure like this. Okay. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. This structure is called chromycelium. These spores are haploid in nature. Chromycelium. Then one, two, three, 4. This wall will break. This wall will break and they will produce germ spores, which are haploid in nature. This is also haploid in nature. Haploid in nature. They are also haploid in nature. Now, in this life cycle, student, only one phase is diploid, this one. Rest all phases are haploid in nature. So this type of life cycle is called haplontic life cycle. Okay. And here meiosis takes place. Here meiosis takes place in zygote. So we can say that zygotic meiosis takes place. Now see from starting student, 2 zygophore. Both are haploid in nature. They come closer. Their gametangia come closer. Haploid in nature. These both gametangia fuses and they form a structure called zygote, which is diploid in nature. Now this zygote will undergo in a meiosis process. If a cell will undergo in a meiosis process, it will produce 4 cell student. Okay, 4 cell. It will produces 4 cell. This structure is called paramycelium. In this paramycelium, these spores are haploid in nature because meiosis is a reductional division and one diploid structure will produce 4 haploid structure. So promycelium, with this promycelium, again this structure will form. This is called germ spore and this is the germ sporangia. Sporangia is a structure where all spores are formed. So it is called germ sporangia, students. It is germ sporangia. Okay, germ sporangia. And this germ sporangia will produce germ spore, which is haploid in nature. How many germ spore are formed? 4 germ spore are formed because one zygote will produce 4 germ spore. So this is the whole process is gametangial copulation. Clear, students? Clear with the types? Students,
Yes,
clear with
ma'am.
the type gametangial copulation? All 3 types are clear to you: gametangial copulation, gametangial contact, and planogametic copulation. Clear with it, students? Please tell me,
Yes, ma'am.
students, all of you clear with it? Now, next is mycorrhiza, student. Okay. Mycorrhiza. They are called fungal roots. Okay. Now, what is mycorrhiza, students? Symbiotic association. Symbiotic association of fungi with roots of higher plants. So, higher plants means I'm talking about gymnosperm and angiosperm. So it is a mutualistic type of relationship, student. Mutualism. Because both are benefited. Both are benefited, student. Okay. Now, fungus part and plant part. So fungus, they're increasing surface area for water and mineral absorption like nitrogen and phosphorus. They are increasing surface area for water and minerals absorption like nitrogen and phosphorus. Both are benefited, so they are giving mineral absorption, they help in mineral absorption, and they are giving food as well as they are giving shelter. Two types of mycorrhiza are there, student. One is called ectomycorrhiza and other is called endomycorrhiza. Okay, one is called ectomycorrhiza. The second one is endomycorrhiza. Now suppose this is epidermis layer. Okay, this is the layer of epidermis. This is cortex region. Okay, this is cortex region. Now here what happens, students? Fungi will grow on this cortex region. These are the growth of fungi. Okay. It will grow on intercellular spaces, student, but it will never penetrate root cells. But what about endomycorrhiza? Suppose this is epidermis layer and these are the cortex region. These are the cortex region. So here what happens, students? Fungi will grow here, fungi will grow here, as well as they will penetrate inside the cell of the cortex. They will penetrate inside the cell of the cortex. So this type of mycorrhiza is called endomycorrhiza. So ectomycorrhiza, I can put here one example, student. One example is Basidiomycetes. Okay. And endomycorrhiza, Phycomycetes. Phycomycetes. They are basically lower fungi, students. And Basidiomycetes, they are higher fungi. Okay. So 1 point. And second point, student, they are found around 10% and they are found around 90% students. Clear with this, students? Clear with mycorrhiza?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next. Lichen. Okay. Now, lichen are also placed under fungi students. Okay. Placed under fungi. Now, what is lichen student? Algae and fungi association. Association between algae and fungi. Okay. Now, algal association is called phycobiota. Okay. And fungi association is called mycobiota. They form around 1 to 5%, and they form around 99 to 95%. Now, algae, which part of algae will form association with fungi student? They are basically chlorophyceae. Chlorophyceae. Chlorophyceae means student chloro. Chloro means they are actually green algae. Okay, green algae. Now, this chlorophyceae is actually student, they are eukaryotes. One prokaryote algae, that is BGA, blue green algae. They are prokaryotes. They also form association with fungi. Now, which fungi are forming association, students? There are two groups of fungi. One is Ascomycetes, okay, and other is Basidiomycetes. Now, Basidiomycetes, few Basidiomycetes form association with algae. So these two form association with algae, students. So what algae are basically giving to them, student? Algae are giving them food, and algae are basically fixing the nitrogen fixation. Because fungi are incapable of nitrogen fixation, student. In turn, fungi is giving them protection. Okay, protection to algae, as well as they help in the attachment to surface, as well as they are providing them water, as well as they are providing them minerals. Okay, students. Clear with this? Clear with lichen, students?
Yes, ma'am.
So last part of biological classification is, student, viruses. Today I will complete this chapter, students. Okay. And next I will start plant kingdom. Next I will start animal kingdom, student. Okay. Because first two chapters we are dealing with botany, then one zoology, then again we will come to botany, plant kingdom. Okay. Next I will start animal kingdom. Now, next is viruses. Now, first discovery of virus, student, that is Ivanovsky, and that is tobacco mosaic virus. Okay. Stanley crystallized tobacco mosaic virus. Now, Bejernik. Okay. Vijayarani. They give the term contagium vivum flucidum. Very important student, this one. For a NEET also. Now, the meaning of this statement is that living infectious fluid. Contagium vivum flucidum. The meaning of this is living infectious fluid. Now, viruses retain the non-living property as well as the living property. So, what are the non-living characteristics of viruses, student? Non-living characteristics of viruses. Number one, they do not contain any protoplasm. Okay, protoplasm is the unique feature of a living being, student. Okay, now respiratory system is absent. Okay, they don't possess any independent existence. So, now independent existence is also absent. Okay, they are the type of students obligate intracellular parasite. They cannot leave their own student. Okay, they need a host for their survival. Growth is absent. Okay, specific gravity is high. Specific gravity is high, and they can be crystallized. They can be crystallized. So these are the non-living properties of viruses. So we'll see some living characteristics of viruses as well. Okay. Living properties of viruses. Now they are made up of organic compounds, student. They possess genetic material. In some cases, DNA is genetic material. In some cases, RNA is genetic material. They contain proteins. They contain enzymes. They contain lysozyme, also a category of enzyme. They contain reverse transcriptase, enzyme reverse transcriptase. They are infectious, or we can say that they are pathogenic. Pathogenic means they have the ability to cause disease. They show mutation. Okay, and they are killed by autoclaving and X-ray student. So these are the living characteristics of viruses. Okay, they are killed by autoclaving or X-rays. Now, what are their component? What are the components of viruses, students? See the component. Though already I told you, one is nucleic acid. Okay, another is capsid. And third one is envelope. And fourth one is enzymes. These are the major component of viruses. Now, in nucleic acid, students, you will get DNA as well as you will get RNA. So from here, what type of question you can get, students? These are very important. Okay, for your NEET students. Example of DNA and RNA viruses. So DNA viruses are called deoxyvirus. Example of double-stranded virus, student. Okay, pox virus. Okay, pox virus and CAMV virus means cauliflower mosaic virus. Okay, come to RNA, student. RNA viruses are also called riboviruses. Ribo for ribonucleic acid. Okay, so single-stranded example is tobacco mosaic virus, student. Tobacco mosaic virus, influenza virus, HIV virus. Okay. Now, what is the capsid part, students? Second part is capsid. Now, they are made up of protein subunits called capsomeres. Okay. Now, if the capsomeres, fixed capsomeres, you will get in tobacco mosaic virus. Around 2130 capsomere you will get in tobacco mosaic virus. How it look like, students? See the structure. This structure is given in your NCERT also. These are the capsomeres. These are fixed and they are around 2130 in number, students. Okay, 2130 in number. And they contain single-stranded RNA as a genetic material. Okay. Now see the structure of bacteriophage. Structure of bacteriophage. Now this is a head, student. This is head. And this region is the collar part. This is head part. This I have already discussed the structure of bacteriophage when I taught you transduction. Okay. And this is double-stranded DNA. Okay. Head is polyhedral. Collar, then the neck region, and then these are the tail fibers. These are the tail fiber. Okay. Here basal plate, and these are the contractile sheet. Okay. So this is the typical structure of a bacteriophage capsid. Now third part is, students, till this clear to all of you? Students, till this any doubt? Any one of you? Students, any one of you? Any doubt? After capsid, there is envelope part. Okay. Now envelope is made up of lipid, carbohydrate, and protein. Now protein is contributed by virus, students. Protein is contributed by virus, but this lipid and carbohydrate part, they take it from host. Okay. Now if envelope is present, those type of viruses are called enveloped virus. Enveloped virus. Example is HIV virus. And if envelope is absent, those categories of viruses are called naked virus. Okay. Example of naked virus is poliovirus or Rio virus. poliovirus or reovirus. Okay. See a structure of enveloped virus, just a schematic I am showing student. Suppose here the single stranded RNA is there. Okay. Now this is their capsid part. Okay. Now outside this capsid student, envelope is present like this. Okay. Now these are the spikes. This is capsid. And this is single stranded RNA. Okay. Now, if you go to reproduction part, student, reproduction of viruses, reproduction of viruses. First one is phagic. Now, what is the meaning of phagic? Students, phagic means only genetic material, only genetic material will enter the host. In this student, two categories are there and both categories are discussed already, students. One is lytic cycle of viruses and another is lysogenic cycle of viruses. Both categories are already discussed with you, students. Okay. Now, this lytic category are students, actually they are the virulent category. Virulent category means they cause disease, student. Okay, example, I can give you one example, T-Phage. Okay, now. And lysogenic category, they undergo a stage which is called prophage. Prophage is the stage when bacterial virus, when bacterial DNA and viral DNA both merges, student. Okay. Example of lysogenic viruses are, student, temperate lambda phage, which is the prophage condition, student. Suppose this is the genetic material. Some part consists of virus and some part consists of bacterial DNA. This is what? This is the genetic material. Genetic material. So this is the phagic part of reproduction of viruses. Okay. And another is phenocytic. Phenocytic means what, student? Genetic material will enter, but with that genetic material, student, okay, capsid will also enter. Capsid part will also enter. And envelope will remain outside. Envelope will remain outside. Envelope will remain outside, students. Okay. Now with this, we have completed viruses, student. And last part, that is the subviral agents. They are virions and prions. Okay. Virions and prions. So what are virions, student, and what are prions? Let us see. Virions and prions. Who gave the term, student? Virions. Dianer. Okay. And prions was given by Alper. What are virions, student? Virions are nothing but they are RNA particles. Okay. They are RNA particles which are low molecular weight. Okay. Low molecular weight single stranded RNA particles are called virions. Okay. Low molecular weight single stranded RNA particles are called virions. And if they are made up of proteins, then they are called prions. Okay. Now, if you see the disease part, student, virions cause basically disease to plants. and prions cause basically disease to animals. Now, which disease are caused by vidioids and prions? Those are very important from your exam point of view and for your need. They ask question from the disease part, student. Okay, so let us see. Basically, vidioids cause disease in plants. In plants, they cause disease. And what are the diseases, student? Let us see the important for your need, student. Okay, now what are the diseases, students? Potato, spindle, tuber disease. Okay, second one is a student. Citrus, exo, certis. Third one, cucumber, pale, yellow. And last disease is a student. Chrysa, hemum, stunt. So these are the diseases which are caused in plant by vidioids. What disease are caused in animals, student? In animals, they caused a disease called Kuru. With this, this Kuru disease is also called laughing death. Okay, laughing death. Then one disease called scrapies. Okay, now this scrapies disease is caused in sheep. Now in cow, one disease they cause. The name of the disease is bovine. Now bovine word always you will get related to cow. The scientific name of cow is Bos indicus. So with that Bos actually bovine word. Okay. So bovine, spongiform, encephalopathy. Okay. Bovine spongiform encephalopathy. That is BSE. And last disease, student, fruits. Okay. Fruits, felt Zephyr disease. That is CF. Clear with this, students? Clear with this? Now, till this, any doubt, any one of you students in mycorrhiza, fungus, lichen, virion, viruses, and prions? Any doubt, student? Any one of you? Yes. Subhashri, Tanmay, Vicky, Swaraj, Roshan, Roshni, Sona, Mohini, Nilesh, Adiba. Yes, tell me, Aditya, Poonam, Supriya. Any doubt, any one of you? Till this, anyone, any doubt? Students? Students, any doubt, any one of you? Okay, with this we have completed, student, biological classification chapter. We have covered full chapter. We have seen the characteristics of Monera, Protista, and fungi. In detail, we have seen all those things. Okay. Some questions in NEET student they ask regarding spores. Okay. In NCERT, it is not given in so much detail, but for your NEET, you should cover all the types of spores which are found in fungi. So just for extra, this I am giving you, student. Okay. So in asexual reproduction, students, in fungi, different types of spores are present. Okay. So I'll discuss those types of spores. The first one is zoospores. Zoospores you will get in Mycetes. Zoospore means suppose this is a spore. Flagellated spores are called zoospore. Means flagella is present. Example, Mycetes. saprolegnia. Okay, saprolegnia. So these are motile spore students. As flagella is present, they have thin wall. Okay, and they are formed inside sporangium. Okay, the form is formed sporangium. Important or neat. Okay. Now suppose this is a sporangium student. Inside the sporangium, these are the spores, and all these spores are flagellated. So we can say now that these spores are of endogenous in origin. Okay, endogenous in origin. Why endogenous students? Because they are formed inside the sporangium. Sporangium is a structure student in which spores are formed. The first category is zoospore. Okay. Now let us see the second category student. Second category is sporangiospores. Okay, sporangiospores. Now these sporangiospores are found in zygo zygomycetes. Example of zygomycetes student, rhizopus and mucor. Now they are students non-motile spore. Now non-motile spores are called aplanospore. Okay. Planospore means motile spore, non-motile spore means aplanospore. They have thin walled structure and they are also endogenous in origin. So let us see one structure of rhizopus student. Suppose this is the structure of rhizopus. Yes. Now these are the hyphae students, and this region is called columella, and here spores are formed. So we can say that this structure is sporangia. Sporangia. Okay. Now this stalk-like structure is called sporangiophore. Okay. Sporangiophore, and these are asexual hyphae. Asexual hyphae. And these hyphae student, the hyphae which are parallel to the surface, the hyphae which are parallel to the surface, this type of hyphae is called stoloniferous type hyphae. Stoloniferous type hyphae. The hyphae which are parallel to the surface. Okay. And these hyphae, they are also called student rhizoid hyphae. They are also called rhizoid hyphae. Roots are the structure, they help in the attachment with the surface. In fungi, roots are absent student, but instead of roots, they possess root-like structure. They are called rhizoid. So this rhizoid help in the attachment with the substratum. Okay. So this is the second category, which is sporangiospore. Now third category students. Third category student, chlamydospore. Okay. Chlamydospore. Now they are also present in zygomycetes. They are formed under unfavorable condition. They are thick-walled structures. As they are found in unfavorable condition, so they form thick-walled structure. Suppose this is the hyphae, okay, and here they are forming chlamydospore. These are your chlamydospore. Now this chlamydospore will separate, and on getting favorable condition, they will germinate and they will form zygomycetes. Third is chlamydospore. Fourth category students is oidea. Fourth category is oidea. Okay. Now oidea you will get in zygomycetes. Oidea you will get in zygomycetes. One example of zygomycetes is rhizopus. Just now I have discussed rhizopus. Now they are also non-motile student. Now when zygomycetes will form oidea student, Okay. See the condition when high salt concentration, high sugar concentration, and low pH concentration. On this condition, student, zygomycetes will form. Okay. Now, next category of spore is Conidia. Okay. Conidia. They are formed by Ascomycetes. Ascomycetes. Two example of Ascomycetes I am giving you. Very familiar students. All of you know this. One is Penicillium. This, okay, and another is Aspergillus. Okay, they are also non-motile, means they are aplanospore. Okay, they bear thin wall structure. They are uninucleated or they are multinucleated. Uninucleated as well as multinucleated. Conidia. If you see the structure of a conidiospore, student, so see the diagram of a conidiospore. This stalk-like structure is called. This stalk-like structure is called conidiophore. Conidiophore. Okay. Now this conidiophore will divide, form a structure called primary conidiophore. This primary conidiophore is also called rami. Then this primary conidiophore will form secondary conidiophore. The secondary conidiophore is also called medulla. It is called medulla. Then this will form a structure called sterigmata. These are what, student? These structure are called sterigmata. Okay, and this sterigmata actually forms, student, conidiospore like this. These are the conidiospore. Okay, each sterigmata will form conidiospore like this. This will form conidiospore. So these are conidiospore. Clear, students? All types of spores I have discussed with you. Any doubt, student, till this? Any doubt? Any one of you? Students? Till this, any doubt? Any one of you, students? Students, any doubt? Any one of you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So with this, we have completed biological classification, students. Okay. We have seen what are the important questions for NEET. We have discussed that. We have covered all the portions of NCERT as well as some outside portions of NCERT. We have also discussed that. Okay. In next class, I will start animal kingdom, students. In my next lecture, I will start animal kingdom. Okay. With this, I am ending my lecture. Thank you, all of you.